Hello Internet! This is Piu Piu.
And this is Azrod, and we are here to show you how a solarpunk way of life can bring you more happiness, make you less anxious,
More connected to yourself and nature, overall with less capitalism. We are Solarpunk and we are going to show you what's new in our settlement.
First of all, we have more tents now, which is great because this means we have way more stocking place now. And the other big improvement are this and this connected to this. Recently we have been visited by friends and family, and the first two that came helped us get this back from the down of the hill.
And now we can collect water. This container behind us used to be filled with liquid sugar, so we know it's safe for food consumption. Did you know? There are 7 different types of plastic, and only 3 of them are safe to contain food.
The safe number are 2, 4 and 5.
And we made sure all of our water jugs, including the small one and the bigger one, are safe.
This saves us a lot of trips to gather water for the animals. Also, the weather is cooler nowadays, so it's easier to walk outside. And we should expect more rain in the following weeks. Also, we have found this, which is made out of copper, which helps the goats not have deficiency in copper, which is fairly common among goats. And those pellets that people help us brought to the top of the hill will help us create a shelter for the goats. You might ask, how this kind of life is a solarpunk way of life?
Solarpunk is an artistic movement that envisions and works toward actualizing a sustainable future, interconnected with nature and community. The solar represents solar energy as a renewable energy source and an optimistic vision of the future that rejects climate doomerism, while the punk refers to the do-it-yourself and countercultural, post-capitalist and decolonial aspect of creating such a future. Aside from the part that we live in nature and that we need to hike for 1 hour if you want to get to the nearest road,
we want to create livable art piece. Did you know that most countries have law to forbid people from constructing their own home? But it's not true for art piece. You can do way more stuff with art. This is why one of our goals is to create livable living art piece using old techniques.
So here we're striving at building a community where all the people but ourselves can live here too.
And because we are going to use primitive, natural and sustainable techniques, anyone could do the same.
Also, the place where we are right now, the place where we are doing this project, is what is called an open place. An open place is somewhere where you're truly free to live, meaning you don't have to pay rent to live there, you don't have to ask permission to live there, you just can come there, live. That's pretty cool. This place was envisioned and created by an old anarchist, Norbert, if you are old to the channel, that participated to the revolt of May 1968 in France. Beginning in May 1968, a period of civil unrest occurred throughout France, lasting 7 weeks and punctuated by demonstrations, general strikes, and the occupation of universities and factories. The unrest began with a series of far-left students' occupation protests against capitalism, consumerism, American imperialism and traditional institutions. Heavy police repression of the protesters led French Trade Union Confederation to call for sympathy strikes, which spread far more quickly than expected to involve 11 million workers, more than 22% of France's population at the time. The protests reached a point that made political leaders fear civil war or revolution. The national government briefly ceased to function after President Charles de Gaulle secretly fled France to West Germany on the 29th. And Susie is here to continue this legacy of anarchist community.
In this kind of new life, we are thinking about what's different. And one of the main things is we are way more happy and less anxious because we can build our schedule however we want. We don't have obligation aside from making sure they have water. And it's really healthy for our brain because we don't have the stress of rent, of projects, of finding and keeping a job. We just need to live.
This freedom is also meant to be shared with animals. That's why all our animals are free range, meaning that there is no barrier keeping them from living. If they want to live, they can. And despite this freedom, the ghosts still choose to stay around us, even if we take their milk, but we still give them water and lots of hugs. In the area where we live, there are wild goats. So our goats could survive if they decided to go on their own. Also, they know some rivers that we've already went through with them, so they know how to not die of thirst in these hills. Also, we wake up with the hour we wish. We don't have to put an alarm on. And yes, her head is indeed black because she decided to put her whole head in animal fat and into dirt next. So that's what happened. N'est-ce pas, Paulette? But this chicken is all naturally black because it's an Ayam chicken. Even her organs are black. Basically, she has a melanistic mutation, but you know. We love you and appreciate you. See you. Bye.